is the need of API? I mean, why do we need to think about API, or why do we need to create an API, or why do we need to call an API? What is the need of API? The next thing that I want to target is need of API. Earlier I had a conversation about what is an API. Now I'm talking about need of an API, right? What is the need of an API? Allowing other programs to interact with it. Basically, she means with it with an application without the need for a developer to share its entire code. Perfect. Abstract underlying implementation. Exactly. You're right, student. So let's talk about it, right? So let's take an example of Facebook. Facebook started as a web application, as a website basically, that we now call as web application. I mean, there are a lot of things that you can do on Facebook, but the same things you wanted to do with a mobile application as well. So, like, do you think that Salesforce has written an entire new code or complete different code for the mobile application? No. What it has done is it has created a separate UI, or it has created a different UI, but the underlying functionalities or the underlying features are still the same. And whenever we do something on that mobile application, what happens is, so like, okay, give me a second. This is the Salesforce server, right? So when you use it on the mobile app, on the laptop, on the web browser, it works in a particular way. And I mean, all the things gets executed onto the server, right? When you like a particular post, when you write down a comment, when you post a picture or something like that, then everything happens on the server side. When it comes to the mobile application, it is nothing but a different UI that is again interacting with the server, and by interacting with the server, what it is doing is it is executing a particular set of code that the same code is being executed by the web application as well. Right? That's what it is. So APIs help us connect different types of devices to a particular application, where the different devices can have different UIs, but the underlying architecture or the underlying implementation is the same for everyone. Right? That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Getting it? Now let me give you another example. So another example is, there is PayPal, right? PayPal, you know, or let's talk about Paytm. We all know about it, right? So using Paytm, we can transfer money from one's wallet to another's wallet, right? That's what we can do. So that's a functionality that we are using with the user interface, and there is a user that needs to do that needs to open the application on their phone, that needs to write down the number of the person to whom the money needs to be sent, and enter the amount and then send it. What if I want to do it with my website? So what I want to do is, I want you to go onto my website, and I mean, let's say, what if I want to do it with my application? So my application has got a way to donate donate money to the people who need it, right? The people who are getting cured from some disease or something like that. And over there, I want to integrate that application of donation of money with Paytm, right? So that application has got its own functionality, but at the end, you need to pay someone some money, right? That's what you need to do. You need to donate some money. And in that case, you can use the API provided by the Paytm, so that you can do the same thing that you do by opening your app in that application as well, without even opening your application in your mobile. Getting it? So that's basically using an API. That's using like a programmable interface of an application. So when we open it on our mobile phone, it's the user interface. But when we do that same thing with the help of code, it is called as a programmable interface. Is it clear? When we do the same thing using code, then in that case, it is considered as using an API. But when we do that same thing, the user interface, then that's normal user interface. Let's take another example. When you buy something on Amazon, there comes a way where you can share that on Facebook. Can you share that on Facebook? Like, I mean, there's a way you can share it on Facebook. When you purchase some airline tickets, you can share that on Facebook. There's a button that comes over there, right? When you go to a particular blog, like if you go to the blog on my website, then in that case, there's a way you can share it on your Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and stuff like that. So that button, like that button includes all the coding of Facebook. Yes or no? Like, does that button include all the coding of the Facebook? Like, have I written down all the code of Facebook that how to share the post? No, nothing like that, right? What I'm doing is I'm using an API of like of Facebook, which allows me to pass the like video, to allow me to pass the link, allow me to pass the content that I want to write down, and allow it to allow me to post it on my Facebook feeds, right? That's what it does. So that's an API that we're using. And with the help of an API, what you can do is, without exposing your complete code, as exactly like Kritika said over here, without exposing your complete code, you can give the functionality of that particular thing to another developer so that they can use it in their application. Getting it? Okay, let's say take another example as well. Currently, what I'm doing is I've got PayUmoney on my website, right? And I want, whenever someone pays on PayUmoney, there should be an invoice that should get generated automatically on QuickBooks that I'm using. That's another application. And a receipt should get generated according to the amount that they have paid. And that should go to the consumer, to the customer who has paid the amount, right? So PayUmoney is a single application and QuickBooks is another application. They two do not have any relation with each other. What I want to do is I want to interact PayUmoney with QuickBooks and all with the help of a code. That is what is, I mean, that's where I need the API, right? And in today's world, I'm telling it to you, when it comes to software or when it comes to web application, when it comes to any type of applications, the API market is booming more than the actual application, right? That's what it is. What is happening? What I mean by that is, like, everyone wants the application to interact with another application so that they can use different applications, but they all are synced up. That's what it is. Is it clear? So the need of an API is basically to provide an interface which we can use with the help of programming, so that our applications can be integrated and the data can be passed from here to there and stuff like that. Is it clear, everyone? Okay. So with the help of API, we communicate between different applications, and like, why communication is required? Because we want our applications to be synced up, or we want our business operations or whatever operation we are doing to be synced up, right? That's what it is, and to allow more usage of our application in another applications as well. Like Facebook is not only a social media website anymore. It's providing you the identity service as well. Whenever you go onto a particular website, it says sign up with Facebook. So that's an identity service that is provided, right? So have like, is all the database of Facebook usernames, password is given to the user who is using that sign up using Facebook. I mean, if you're signing up on my website, let's say using Facebook, then all the data of like of the username and the passwords which Salesforce which Facebook has is provided to me on my website. No, but what we're doing is we're integrating my website's sign-in function with the Facebook's API that is being provided to me, and that API basically gets the information, authenticates the user, and then sends back a message to the original website. That's what it does. So that's called as an integration, and whenever we need to do integration, we need API. Is it clear?